जा रहे हैं हम?
सॉरी, बस 5 मिनट का काम है, मेरा एक प्रोजेक्ट चल रहा है। You wanna come?
ओके।
ये सारा सामान उठाकर ऊपर डाल दो, कल तक ये सारा फ्लोर।
सब ठीक?
हाँ सर, एवरीथिंग ओके।
वाओ, इतना बड़ा घर किसका है
एक फैमिली।
काफी बड़ी फैमिली होगी ना?
वो तो है। सो बेसिकली एक फादर है और एक मदर है। अब इनके 2 बच्चे हैं, एक बेटा और एक बेटी। अब इनके 2 बच्चे हैं, एक और अब इनके 2 बच्चे हैं, 2 सो टोटल 16।
इतनी बड़ी फैमिली, सब साथ में रहेंगे क्या?
इवेंचुअली। क्यों?
नहीं, आजकल कौन रहता है ऐसे जॉइंट फैमिली में? और कौन बनाता है ऐसे खानदानी टाइप घर? बताओ।
I guess people who believe families are forever, and I feel तुम्हारा family घर should also be forever.
Quite refreshing actually. You know, I think I want to meet these people.
हाँ, मिल लेना, लेकिन कुछ सालों बाद।
क्यों?
क्योंकि अभी तो इन दोनों की शादी भी नहीं हुई।
शादी नहीं हुई और फ्यूचर जनरेशंस के लिए पहले ही महल खड़ा कर दिया। वैसे कब होगी इनकी शादी?
जब भी तुम हाँ बोलोगी।
क्या?
सॉरी, कोई रिंग नहीं लाया।
सिर्फ डायमंड्स ही फॉरएवर नहीं होते।
So that's a हाँ। हाँ?
हाँ।
बिरला A1 स्ट्रॉन्ग ग्रेड, ताकि आपका घर भी आपके रिश्तों की तरह हमेशा बना रहे।
कैसा लगा?
बहुत अच्छा।
बिरला A1 स्ट्रॉन्ग ग्रेड, द फॉरएवर सीमेंट।
कोविड ने हम सबके लिए लाइफ काफी बदल दी है। बदल गया है हमारा जीने का तरीका, मिलने मिलाने का तरीका, यहां तक कि त्योहार और खुशियां मनाने का तरीका भी। लॉकडाउन और उसके अलग अलग फेजेस के दौरान हमारी दुनिया घर तक सीमित हो गई थी। Unlike older times, we could not meet and celebrate in our offices, plants or townships. Looking at how difficult it would be for all of us being locked indoors and not being able to meet each other or celebrate, we felt that our family could still be joyous and together despite the social distancing. हमें physically distant होना था, emotionally नहीं। हम जानते थे कि घर पर बंद रहना सबके लिए इमोशनली चैलेंजिंग था, तो हमने वर्चुअल वर्ल्ड को ही जरिया बना लिया सेलिब्रेशंस का और पूरे परिवार, बड़े बुजुर्ग, छोटे बच्चे, स्पाउसेस को एंगेज किया अपने सेलिब्रेशंस की दुनिया में। फ्रॉम ओरिएंट आजादी के रंग कॉन्टेस्ट, जहां हमने फैंसी ड्रेस, फैमिली पिक्चर्स जैसे कॉन्टेस्ट में पार्ट लिया, टू ओरिएंट गणेश चतुर्थी, जहां हम सब एक दूसरे की सेलिब्रेशंस का हिस्सा बने सेल्फी विद गणेशा और गणेश आरती के जरिए। साथ में चलती रही है ओरिएंट स्टोरीज, जिनसे हमने अच्छी आदतों को सेलिब्रेट करना शुरू किया। वहीं एक कड़ी बनती गई ओरिएंट हीरोज की, जो अबव एंड बियॉन्ड गए टू कीप आवर वैल्यूज अलाइव एंड लिव लाइफ इन द बेस्ट वे। हम नहीं चाहते कि हम में से कोई भी अकेलापन महसूस करे, तो हम लाते रहे ऐसी एक्टिविटीज और कॉन्टेस्ट जिनमें हम सब जोर शोर से पार्टिसिपेट करते रहे। घर घर नवरात्रि हर घर में ले आया द सेलिब्रेशन ऑफ द पावर ऑफ शी। फिर आई ओरिएंट दिवाली, जहां खुशियों के दिए जला के हम एक दूसरे को और नजदीक लाए।
रोशनी का त्योहार है, घर में रोशनी लाइए, खुशियों के दिए जलाइए।
The Orient brighter side reminded us that though the year felt dull and low, there was a silver lining to it. 2020 आखिर था तो एक खूबसूरत साल।
2020 has really demystified a lot of things that we were used to, given us an opportunity to adapt new ways of working thanks to technology for this new normal.
There was Christmas and then the New Year opened with मकर संक्रांति, जहां हम सब ने उड़ान पतंगसी और खुशियों की रंगोली कॉन्टेस्ट के जरिए सेलिब्रेट किया। वो फेस्टिवल जिसके नाम तो अनेक हैं पर स्पिरिट एक ही है। And then it was time to celebrate Republic Day with Orient झंडा ऊंचा रहे हमारा। After all, we may be different in many ways, but we are all true Indians, नहीं? We also celebrated the gift to work practices which our leap managers implemented and made a difference to the team members and their families. We hope these initiatives have helped bring each of us closer in these difficult times. जब तक दुनिया नॉर्मल नहीं हो जाती, we will continue to celebrate everything big and small. आखिर खुशियों के पल और परिवार का प्यार सेलिब्रेट करने के मौके कभी कम नहीं पड़ने चाहिए।
कहाँ जा रहे हैं हम?
सॉरी, बस 5 मिनट का काम है, मेरा एक प्रोजेक्ट चल रहा है। You wanna come?
Okay.
ये सारा सामान उठाकर ऊपर डाल दो, कल तक ये सारा फ्लोर।
सब ठीक?
हाँ सर, एवरीथिंग ओके।
वाह, इतना बड़ा घर किसका है?
एक फैमिली।
काफी बड़ी फैमिली होगी ना?
वो तो है। सो बेसिकली एक फादर है और एक मदर है। अब इनके 2 बच्चे हैं, एक बेटा और एक बेटी। अब इनके 2 बच्चे हैं, एक और अब इनके 2 बच्चे हैं, 2 सो टोटल 16।
इतनी बड़ी फैमिली, सब साथ में रहेंगे क्या?
इवेंचुअली। क्यों?
नहीं, आजकल कौन रहता है ऐसे जॉइंट फैमिली में? और कौन बनाता है ऐसे खानदानी टाइप घर, बताओ?
I guess people who believe families are forever, and I feel तुम्हारा family घर should also be forever.
Quite refreshing actually. You know, I think I want to meet these people.
हाँ मिल लेना, लेकिन कुछ सालों बाद.
क्यों?
क्योंकि अभी तो इन दोनों की शादी भी नहीं हुई.
शादी नहीं हुई और फ्यूचर जनरेशंस के लिए पहले ही महल खड़ा कर दिया. वैसे कब होगी इनकी शादी?
जब भी तुम हाँ बोलोगी.
क्या?
सॉरी, कोई रिंग नहीं लाया.
सिर्फ डायमंड्स ही फॉरएवर नहीं होते.
So that's a हाँ. हाँ?
बिरला A1 स्ट्रॉन्ग ग्रेड, ताकि आपका घर भी आपके रिश्तों की तरह हमेशा बना रहे.
कैसा लगा?
बहुत अच्छा.
बिरला A1 स्ट्रॉन्ग ग्रेड, द फॉरएवर सीमेंट.
Good afternoon, everyone. I, Nidhi Bisaria, Company Secretary of the company, welcome you all to the 11th Annual General Meeting of Orient Cement Limited. Before I hand over the proceedings to the Chairman to declare the meeting open, I would like to mention certain points here. The Ministry of Corporate Affairs and the Securities and Exchange Board of India, via their respective circulars, have allowed companies to hold the annual general meeting through video conferencing or other audio-visual means during the calendar year 2022. This annual general meeting is accordingly being held through video conference in compliance with the circulars issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and SEBI. In terms of the said circulars, the requirement of sending physical copies of the annual report for the financial year 21-22 has been dispensed with. Accordingly, the annual reports for the financial year 21-22 along with the notice of 11th AGM have been sent by electronic mode only to all the shareholders whose email IDs were registered with the company's registrar and share transfer agent or the depositories. The registered office of the company situated at Bhubaneswar, Odisha shall be deemed to be the venue for this 11th AGM, and the proceedings of this AGM shall be deemed to be convened thereat. The Register of Directors and key managerial personnel, the Register of Contracts or Arrangements in which directors are interested, and other documents required to be kept open for inspection can be accessed for inspection by the members at the e-voting page of NSDL and also on the website of the company during the proceedings of this AGM. As the AGM is being held through video conference, the facility for appointment of proxy by the members was not applicable and hence the proxy register is not available for inspection. All the shareholders who have joined this meeting are by default mode being placed by the host on mute mode in order to avoid disturbance which may arise from the background noise. Some of the shareholders have registered themselves as speaker shareholders for this AGM. Accordingly, opportunity will be given to those shareholders to ask questions or express their views. The moderator will facilitate this session once the chairman opens the questions and answer session. The shareholders who have registered themselves as the speaker shareholder will be announced one by one. Before speaking, shareholders are requested to click the webcam button to switch on their camera. I would request the shareholders to first introduce themselves and then proceed with their questions or views. The shareholders are requested to finish speaking within 3 minutes' time. Now I request Mr. Birla, Chairman of the company, to kindly chair the meeting and commence the proceedings of this meeting.
Good afternoon, dear shareholders. I welcome you all to the 11th Annual General Meeting of Orient Cement Limited. Before we start the proceedings of the AGM, let me introduce my colleagues on the board. Mr. Deepak Khetrapal, the Managing Director and CEO of the company, and Mrs. Amita Birla, a non-executive director, are present with me. I would request other members who have joined the AGM through video conferencing from their respective locations to introduce themselves. Mr. IVR Krishna Rao, Independent Director.
I am IVR Krishna Rao, Independent Director and Chairman of the Audit Committee and Risk Management Committee of the company. I am joining the 11th Annual General Meeting of the Orient Cement Limited from Hyderabad. Thank you.
Mr. Ravindranath Jhunjhunwala, Independent Director.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. My name is Ravindranath Jhunjhunwala, Independent Director and Chairman of Nomination and Remuneration Compensation Committee of the company. I'm joining this annual general meeting of this year from Mumbai. Thank you.
Mrs. Varsha Purandare, Independent Director.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Varsha Purandare, Independent Director and Chairperson of Stakeholders Relationship Committee of the company. I'm joining the 11th Annual General Meeting of Orient Cement Limited from Pune. Thank you.
Mr. Swapan Das Gupta, Independent Director.
I'm Swapan Das Gupta, I'm Independent Director of Orient Cement. I'm joining the AGM of Orient Cement from my residence in Delhi. Thank you very much.
Mr. Rajiv Jhawar, Independent Director.
I am Rajiv Jhawar, Independent Director of the company. I am joining the 11th Annual General Meeting of Orient Cement Limited from Singapore. Thank you.
Mr. Janat Shah, Independent Director.
I'm Janat Shah, Independent Director and Chairman of the Corporate Social Responsibility Committee of the company. I'm joining the 11th Annual General Meeting of Orient Cement from Udaipur.
Mr. Soumitra Bhattacharya, Chief Financial Officer.
Good afternoon. I'm Soumitra Bhattacharya, Chief Financial Officer of the company. I'm joining the 11th Annual General Meeting of Orient Cement Limited from Hyderabad. Thank you.
Thank you. I wish to inform that all the directors of the company are attending this AGM. I also acknowledge the attendance of Mr. Vikas Somani, Partner, BSR and Associates LLP, the statutory auditors of the company. Mr. Ranjit Pandey of Ranjit Pandey and Associates, our Secretarial Auditor. Mr. Atul Kumar Lab, Practicing Company Secretary, as the scrutinizer for this meeting from their respective locations. I thank all the shareholders, colleagues on the board, and management team for joining this meeting through video conference. Participation of members through video conference is being reckoned for the purpose of quorum as per the circular issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and Section 103 of the Companies Act 2013. As the requisite quorum is present, I call the meeting to order. The company has made all feasible efforts to enable shareholders to participate in the AGM through video conferencing facility and in providing electronic voting facility during the AGM. I now request the company secretary to brief the shareholders regarding the e-voting process.
Thank you, sir. In compliance with the provisions of the Companies Act 2013 and the SEBI listing regulations, the company had provided to all the members who are holding shares as on the cut-off date of July 21st, 2022, either in physical form or dematerialized form, the facility to exercise their right to vote on all the resolutions set out in the notice of the 11th Annual General Meeting. The remote e-voting platform was provided by National Securities Depository Limited, NSDL, and remote e-voting facility was available to the members from Monday, July 25th, 2022, 9 a.m. till Wednesday, 27th July 2022, 5 p.m. Electronic voting facility at the AGM is being made available to enable shareholders who have not cast their votes through remote e-voting. The e-voting window has been activated during the AGM proceedings. The shareholders attending the meeting who have not cast their vote through remote e-voting are requested to cast their vote by going to the e-voting page of NSDL, click on Active Voting Cycles and click EVN 120179. Shareholders may please note that there will be no voting by show of hands. I now request the chairman to continue with the proceedings of the AGM.
Thank you, Nidhi. Dear shareholders, once again a very warm welcome to all of you at the 11th Annual General Meeting of Orient Cement Limited. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you attending this meeting. I wish you and your families good health and during these unprecedented times. The annual report of your company for the year ended 31st March 2022 has already been circulated and are already with you, and with your permission, I take this as read. I would now like to summarize the year under review in a few highlights. Even as I speak, our macro environment continues to be uncertain. While the impact of COVID-19 appears to have moderated thanks to our government's continued thrust on faster coverage of the country's population through vaccination, the external environment still remains volatile. The Russia-Ukraine situation is having a cascading impact on businesses and economies worldwide, with shortages, rising commodity prices, market volatility, and supply chain disruptions. These disruptions are causing record inflation levels in countries worldwide, deepening the macroeconomic challenges. Amidst these circumstances, your company has delivered a robust performance during the financial year 21-22 by leveraging its DNA of agility. Our responsive strategy and agile execution capabilities enabled Orient Cement to capitalize on the few windows of opportunity that emerged during the year and maximize value creation for all its stakeholders through its internalized strengths and capabilities. The team at Orient Cement worked to not only meet challenges created by the external macro environmental shocks, but also undertook several long-term initiatives to drive quality sales. Consolidation of customer base and channel partners, optimizing costs, and marketing prudently with the right product mix has helped us deliver a very good performance. The sustained and successful initiatives include optimization of costs while pushing the envelope of innovation, circularity, and sustainability. From replacement of conventional fuel with all viable alternatives to debottlenecking for enhanced capacity, the examples of agility demonstrated by the team are captured in the annual report. Similarly, the team has continued to sustain and grow the market share of Birla A1 Strongcrete, our premium cement, engineered to create properties that are unmatched. It is a culmination of these efforts that your company has delivered results which are amongst the best in the industry for the year. Cement, as everyone knows, is an energy-intensive industry with power, fuel, and logistics accounting for over half of the total cost. The various disruptions in the energy sector resulted in intense pressure on input costs in the entire cement industry, a situation that still persists, and in such a scenario, the management team continued to navigate the storm with its intrinsic capabilities and emerged stronger. Orient Cement recorded a total income of rupees 2735 crores, growing from rupees 2342 crores in the previous fiscal year. Despite the unrelenting and inescapable inflation in energy and other input costs, this nearly 70% growth in revenues was backed by an improvement in profits. The EBITDA for the year improved to rupees 601 crore in financial year 22 compared with rupees 569 crores in the previous year. The company used the accompanying robust cash flow to prepay the debt on its book. During the year, the company prepaid rupees 478 crores of its long-term debt long before it became due for repayment. Further, the remaining modest debt was refinanced with a significant reduction in cost. As a result, the debt on our balance sheet as on 31st March 22 is a mere 296 crores and carries a much lower rate of interest. All this has resulted in significant savings in finance costs, and so the PBT and PAT for the year grew by 21 and 23% respectively. I'm sure that these financial results have made you and the investor community happy. These numbers look even more impressive when compared to the industry results in a difficult year. During the challenging years of COVID-19, our people-first philosophy has been amply demonstrated. As a significant number of our staff got impacted, our caring HR functionaries and senior leaders worked tirelessly to arrange the necessary medical support and emotional comfort of everyone. The team showed extraordinary flexibility and resilience and adopted the hybrid work mode with strict SOPs in place to keep everyone safe. We continue to enhance our safety measures on-site and off-site, including COVID-19 vaccine coverage of all employees, enhanced safety training programs, and regular awareness sessions on multiple facets of safety. The proof of our engaging and rewarding people practices is reflected in Orient Cement being certified a great place to work for the third year in a row. This year's certification is special because it has been supported through a much higher participation from all our employees and all our plants with a vastly improved trust score. I commend the exemplary leadership team at Orient Cement who have steered your company competently with unflinching commitment during difficult times and have never wavered from our chosen path of long-term orientation and creating value for all our stakeholders. I am thankful to all of you for supporting the board's recommendation for the reappointment of Mr. Deepak Khetrapal as Managing Director of the company for another 2 years with near unanimous approval. We can't overemphasize the challenges faced by our planet on the environmental front with very visible impact on global warming. We at Orient Cement have been taking strong measures to reduce our energy intensity and also to find alternative and renewable fuels and powers. Among the many operational achievements during the year, I am especially proud of our aggressive efforts towards reducing our carbon footprint. We are making steady progress towards our roadmap of building a net zero carbon company by the year 2050. Our participation and commitment towards this global commitment guides our investments towards building renewable energy and waste heat recovery plants for our power requirements. Our proposed investments are targeted at achieving 50% of our power requirements through renewable resources by the year 2030. Our recent long-term agreement and investment for procuring solar energy at Jalgaon grinding unit is already meeting 50% of its power needs. We have begun construction of our 10 megawatt waste recovery, heat recovery system at our Chitapur plant, which will reduce our fossil fuel requirements and make significant contribution towards conservation of natural resources. Our capacity expansion plans include further addition to similar power generated without burning any fuel. We are also aggressively replacing the conventional fuels in our kilns like coal and petcoke with various alternative fuels which largely are waste and byproducts from various industrial and social activities. Apart from these, at the micro level, the team is working closely with numerous smaller ideas that are making visible impact towards building a greener tomorrow. Our efforts and commitment towards such matter are reflected in this year's Business Responsibility and Sustainability Report, already circulated as part of the annual report, which all of you would have noted. Given the very encouraging prospects of our nation's macroeconomic opportunities, I remain strongly optimistic about the company's future as our strategy takes shape to leverage all emerging opportunities with required investments. Our robust balance sheet provides us the springboard to comfortably address our planned capacity addition in the coming 5 to 6 years. We also continue to build on our already strong ESG framework year after year with initiatives that are directed to build a carbon neutral company. A major recent development is that the government of Rajasthan has decided to restore our old mining lease in the Chittorgarh area, and that creates a long-awaited opportunity for us to diversify our geographic footprint and have a more robust market access. We are preparing to start our actions toward creation of about 2 million tons of cement capacity, leveraging the Rajasthan mines. Finally, on behalf of the Board of Directors, I would like to extend sincere gratitude to all our shareholders, associates, banks, and respective government bodies for their continued support and trust in the company. My appreciation to all my colleagues on the board and the entire workforce at Orient Cement, whose contributions continue to build a stronger and agile company in a sustainable manner. Once again, my best wishes to all of you and your families for good health. Thank you. So, notice of the 11th Annual General Meeting along with the annual report for the financial year 21-22 was sent to you, the shareholders, electronically. With your kind permission, I shall take it as read. There are no qualifications, observations, or adverse remarks in the statutory auditor's reports on the financials of the company for the financial year 21-22 and the secretarial auditor's report. Therefore, with your kind permission, I take the statutory auditor's report and the secretarial auditor's report as read. I now take up the business as mentioned in the notice of the 11th AGM. Ordinary Resolution number 1, adoption of the audited financial statements for the year ending 31st March 22 and the reports of the Board of Directors and auditors thereon. Ordinary Resolution number 2, declaration of final dividend of rupees 175% per equity share of face value of rupees 1 each for the financial year ended 31st March 22 and confirmation of the interim dividend of rupees 0.75 per equity share of rupees 1 each paid during the financial year 21-22. Now, may I request Mr. Krishna Rao to take up the chair for item number 3, wherein I am interested.
Ordinary Resolution number 3, appointment of a director in place of Mrs. Amita Birla, who retires by rotation and being eligible offers herself for reappointment. Now I request Mr. Birla to resume the proceedings.
Thank you, Mr. Krishna Rao. Ordinary Resolution number 4, ratification of the remuneration of Mr. Somnath Mukherjee, cost auditor of the company for the financial year 22-23. The details of the resolutions along with the explanatory statement are provided in the notice circulated to the shareholders. Shareholders who have not yet voted may cast their vote. The e-voting will remain open up to 15 minutes from the end of this meeting or of the casting of the last vote, whichever is earlier. Now I open the floor for the question and answer session. I would request the moderator to unmute the registered speaker shareholders one by one.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite our first speaker shareholder, Mr. Atul Gadodia. Sir, please unmute your audio video.
Yes, I'm Atul Gadodia. Is my voice audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. I'm Atul Gadodia from Calcutta, reporting from my residence. and I thank the team of the Orient Cement for giving me an opportunity to speak. I greet everyone, each and every one present, all the directors and everyone. Mr. Sapan Das Gupta, I read his articles in the Times of India every Sunday whenever they feature. And my humble request to him would be to write in more simple English, because not everyone wants to be Mr. Shashi Tharoor. So that is my only request. Now coming to Mr. Birla, I used to meet his Nanaji, Mr. Daga, in Victoria during my walks. An accomplished palmist, Mr. Daga, would address me as Beta, and he would invite me to his residence on Kamak Street many times, although I never went. But he had very high affections for me. It was long back, some 20 years back, but I still cherish his memories. And it is now coming to the company. It is no mean job what Mr. Birla has done. From a very languishing company, Orient Paper, he carved out 3 divisions: Orient Cement, Orient Electric, and Orient Paper. And a couple of them are doing really very, very well. It is a matter of pride for each and every shareholder that we are associated with this company. Now I have a couple of questions to ask. Like, since the company is cash rich and nearly debt free, why doesn't the company go for buybacks? Because the company is having the prices have fallen down a lot from 52-week high. I think the prices have corrected nearly 60%. So in my view, a buyback would be much value which would add much value to the shareholders. I suggested a similar thing to Mr. Harshpat Singhania and JK Paper, and he carried it out. It would be my humble request to Mr. Birla to carry out buyback. Now, secondly, I missed out on that one. Is Orient Cement going for a greenfield expansion in Rajasthan? Because I was reading, just Mr. Birla told that some mining right have been secured or restored in Rajasthan. So, the 2 million ton, will it be a greenfield expansion in Rajasthan or what? And lastly, I would request Mr. Birla that whenever he is in Calcutta, if he gives me an appointment, I can come and meet him at Birla Building, or if in Delhi, even if he gives me an appointment, I'll come and meet him in Delhi. With this, I support all the resolutions and I end my speech. Thank you again.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite our next speaker shareholder, Mr. Naveen Bothra, sir. Sir, please unmute audio video of your system.
Hello, I am Naveen Bothra, pleasure attending the 11th AGM of Orient Cement from Delhi. A very warm greetings to our respected chairman, P.K. Birla sir, Madam Amita Birla ji, our MD and CEO Deepak Khetrapal sir, and the other esteemed board members and key management team of Orient Cement. Very warm greetings to all persons. I congratulate Deepak Khetrapal sir on his reappointment as MD and CEO. As chairman sir told, with full support of all the shareholders. So we are very pleased with this. I hope under his leadership, the company continues to give stellar performance in the years to come also. The Orient team's progression from limitless attitude to agility has resulted in excellent performance, all-round performance, despite the challenges of pandemic and geopolitical headwinds. Congratulations to the team Orient Cement. Large reductions in debt over the last 2 years needs a special appreciation. Kudos to the management and finance team for their relentless efforts in bringing down the debt to a very low level of around 300 crore rupees, and also bringing down the interest rate to almost 6%. 2% reduction shows the financial strength of the group, and the company is becoming debt free in the near future. Accolades to the management on retaining the Great Place to Work for the certification for the 3rd year in a row, and on the various awards and recognitions, including ESG awards during the year. We get detailed regular updates in the quarterly con calls hosted by the management, and as such, not much to ask on the operations. Just to get the chairman sir's broader views on the couple of points. one of which has been cleared. So that is Rajasthan mining issue is not a question right now. We are happy to see that it has been restored, mining lease has been restored. So just one question regarding the organic expansion we are proposing in Telangana. What is the current status and when it is likely to be completed? And as regards the mining, Rajasthan mining lease, will it be expansion of greenfield, starting the greenfield plant will be before the Gulbarga proposed brownfield expansion? So if you can throw some more light on the Rajasthan mining project, Rajasthan greenfield project, it will be quite helpful, sir. And as regards the waste heat recovery, you have already told that 110 megawatt plant is already in progress. So we just wanted to know about the how much savings we will be having from this plant when it is fully operational. To conclude, I would like to thank the secretarial team, especially Nidhi for coordinating a smooth interaction in this AGM and sending the copy of the annual report well in time. I have already voted in all the resolutions and I propose a vote of thanks to the board, wishing team Orient Cement all the very best. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite our next speaker shareholder, Mr. Vaibhav Jain. Sir, please unmute your audio video.
Yeah, hi. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Yeah. Hi. I'm Vaibhav. I'm speaking from Chennai. So I just have a few questions for the management regarding our business. I just, first question is, just wanted to know what is the current lead distance in terms of our freight cost, and what is the second question is what is the power mix in terms of the captive power and the power that we purchase from outside, and third question is what is the price per ton breakdown of our greenfield plant that we've set up in Karnataka, which has been operational since 2017. In terms of land, residential quarters, the kiln, the preheater, the limestone, and the grinding operations. Also, what has been the trade and non-trade mix in the last 5 years? Currently, how much WHRS, that is apart from the 10 megawatt WHRS that we're proposing to construct? Apart from that, what is the current WHRS capacity and how much does that contribute to our total power requirements? And we have a provision for rehabilitation for about 72 crores in the books. So I just want to know why, when do we have to incur this? What is the status and how have we calculated it? So these are the questions from my side. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite our next speaker shareholder, Mr. Manoj Kumar Gupta. Sir, please unmute your audio video.
Hello. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Board of Directors, fellow shareholders. My name is Manoj Gupta. I am a equity shareholder of Orient Cement Limited. First of all, I thanks to you and your team for the good and excellent result of the company and good dividend in this epidemic COVID time. And I thanks to the company secretary to help us to join this meeting through VC. And sir, I have few questions. How you will face the competition from Ultratech and Ambuja in future? They are spreading their wings from north to south, east to west. So how you face that competition? Inflation has gone up. Every raw material price has gone up 20% to 30%. And sir, what's your view on the single-use plastic ban by our government with effect from 1st July 2022? What effect will come on our company through single-use plastic ban? And sir, what's your future outlook for cement business? And I am also great admirer of Dr. Sapan Das Gupta. I have a great respect to him. And sir, please arrange a plant visit and how you will reward to the shareholders. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Our next speaker shareholder, Ms. K. Elijah Devi, jointly with Bharat K. Raj, is not available with us. So we'll move to our next speaker shareholder. Now I invite our next speaker shareholder, Mr. Rohit Prakash, sir. Please, sir, unmute your audio video.
For the opportunity. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Thank you for the opportunity, sir. So I have just three broad questions. My first question is, so I'm a huge admirer of your company, and I've gone through all your annual reports, and it's very, very beautifully written. So first, congratulations on educating the shareholders so well. So it's really nice to see how you focused on costs and then are focusing on premiumization of a product right now. So my first question is, in general, if I see the long-term trajectory of the cement industry. So towards the end of the 2010 decade, the industry was operating at 80 or 90% utilization, and it used to enjoy EBITDA per ton margins across average EBITDA per ton across the industry of 1,000. And 12, 13 years on, because of the capacity utilization and the of capacity addition and then the utilization not reaching up to the mark, we still are at around the same number. So how do you see this going forward in this current decade? Because from my understanding, over the next 2 to 3 years, we have 80 million tons capacity coming on a current countrywide capacity of around 300, 320 million tons. So with average capacity utilization in our southern markets being mid 50s or 60%, and again additional capacity coming in, how do we see our realizations play out in the next few years? And so my second question is generally on the capital allocation. So we have a great set of cement, two great cement plants with among the lowest cost operations in the country. So, and it's interesting to see also the promoters buying shares from the open market. So why not use the capital to invest in the company itself? Why not buy back shares and increase the ownership of long-term shareholders in the company in that sense? Doesn't it? So with our capacity today available at roughly $40 per ton in the market, why spend $75, $80 to set up new capacity in Rajasthan or anywhere else, which we have alluded to in various interviews? Why not do buyback on the market itself? My last question is, if you could share your thoughts on the product strategy and premiumization strategy. I see you have done a lot of work on Birla's concrete with good brand ambassadors like PV Sindhu coming in. What other metrics or what other measures are taking to further improve the net realizations for the company? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite our next speaker shareholder, Mr. Mahendra Kumar Agrawal. Sir, please unmute audio video of your system.
I am audible.
Mahendra sir, is this audible?
Listen me. Hello. Hello. Can you listen me?
We can't hear you, but I have all your questions with me that you have sent last 2 days. So if it's all right, I can answer them because we can't hear you or see you.
That's fine, sir.
That's fine. You're saying that's fine.
Fine, thank you, sir.
You're saying that's fine.
Okay.
So Mahendra sir, your audio is not audible. So it seems that we can move our meeting ahead. So I hand over to Mr. Chairman, sir.
Thank you. So I'll start with the answers, Mr. Atul Gadadia. He talked of two things. He talked about generally and then about buyback and Rajasthan. So Rajasthan is a greenfield expansion and buyback. As I said that, we're already looking expanding capacity, whether it's in Rajasthan and other places. So buyback doesn't make sense in such a situation. And we are in fact going to be spending huge amount of capex will be incurred. So we will be borrowing also. So that's, I think it's not feasible at the moment because we have investment plans which will be requiring capital. Mr. Naveen Bothra asked a lot of questions. The status of the organ expansion in Telangana might like to be operational. Here with adding a new fourth line of 6,000 tons per day, taking the cement capacity to 3 million tons. Grinding is proposed to be split over 2 locations. We intend to complete this by the year 24, and we will keep on keeping a close look at the market scenario. But and keeping in mind of how do we maximize shareholder value. But the idea is to complete it by the year 2024. Rajasthan mine, as I just said already, that we have got the government's order restoring our mining lease. We will start the process of land acquisition, and it is a greenfield expansion over there. And we propose to set up a 2 million ton capacity in Chittorgarh. Waste heat recovery system at Chitapur is 10 megawatt waste heat power plant is in the advanced stage of construction and will be completed by the 4th quarter of this financial year. And we can expect the benefits of this to come next year. And the investment is below the norm of 11 crores per megawatt, and the annualized savings is expected to be about 30 crores per year. So Mr. Vaibhav Jain has asked a lot of questions, and then I just currently just in terms of freight cost is 300 kilometers, power mix, captive versus grid purchase. It's 81% for the last year, captive 9% renewable energy and 10% from the grid. In the current quarter, in the last quarter, that's Q1 of 23, the renewable power consumed has increased to 14%. He's also asked about the total and per unit of electricity cost saving when using ADF versus coal and petcoke. Very difficult. It's very dynamic again, changes as per the availability and cost of the fuels. Alternative fuels for the boiler is more complicated and challenging, and its contribution is so far small. But we are learning in this process as we go forward, and what we are trying to do is to increase that gradually, quarter on quarter, month on month. We are trying to increase this. He's asked about the per ton breakdown of greenfield setup in Karnataka in terms of land, kiln, all the details. Very difficult to give you a breakup of this, but as we have said, 3 million tons capacity, we spent 1956 crores, which includes land, all the plant equipment. Waste heat recovery is being constructed now, and that's not included in the above. Mr. Jain also talked of provision of 72 crores in the books of rehabilitation account. I think this is being utilized every year, and I think over the next couple of years this will be utilized fully. Mr. Manoj Gupta talked of competition from Ultratech and Ambuja. Now, in this world, we always live with competition, whether it is Ultratech, Ambuja, in the cement industry, or you take it in every industry, there is competition, and everyone who does well will survive. So I think our philosophy on that, and my philosophy is that we have to do the best, and we will survive, and we will do better, and we will take on competition. So, it's good they are giants. Definitely they are giants, and the others are definitely at the lower level. But there is space for everyone, and companies which will do well will survive, I can tell you. And we are working towards that. Single-use plastic ban, nothing, doesn't make any effect on us. Mr. Zohit Prakash talked about a lot of things. The growth you talked of, I think it's in the region, I expect it to be in the region of about 11 to 12%. And going forward, I hope things will continue in that direction. There's a lot of investment happening in infrastructure, in various road projects, housing. So all these are good signs for the country and for the cement industry. So I'm optimistic. Mr. Mahendra Agarwal has asked a lot of questions about, you could ask them because audio video wasn't working. He's asked, are we doing any synergy with any cement? Big cement players, are we seeing, and JV like ACC and Ambuja are done with Adani? We are focused on our, let me tell you, we are focused on our own capacity addition and what we in the next 4 to 5 years are planning to reach a capacity of 50 to 16 million tons per annum. So his next question is asked about active in South India and will we participate in North. With the Rajasthan mining lease coming, we expect to diversify in the North also. How soon he is asked about the Rajasthan plant becoming operational. Well, this depends on land acquisition and the required environmental clearances. I can assure you every effort is being made so that we can do it as fast as possible. But these hurdles we have to cross first. In September 21, we were supposed to start the grinding unit at Tiroda. What is the status? Actually, I just want to clarify. In September 21, we signed the MOU with Adani Power. And this takes, as you all know, this takes time. It requires a lot of approvals and clearances. And we are progressing well. And the necessary permission and the process is going as per plan. In principle, we received the approval for the railway siding and approvals from the MSEDCL for power requirements during construction has also been received, and the land sublease approval from MIDC is in progress. It's asked why are we searching any North Indian cement company for any type of expansion? Nothing at the moment. In how much time will we be debt free? I don't think we want to be debt free. We want to keep on increasing capacity with prudent debt. That is our aim. Not borrow, over leverage, but we will continue so that we keep on increasing our installed capacity. And it will be a judicious mix of debt, internal generation, and keeping in mind debt equity and debt EBITDA ratios. You asked for the top 5 customers, Mr. Agarwal. I think it's not proper to disclose that. We can't disclose that. But definitely, our cement has been used in the basic Telangana major project of Kaleshwaram irrigation project, in the Mumbai-Nagpur highway. A lot of our cement was used. And we have other major customers we are working with, and we are getting good orders. I think with that I've answered all the questions, and now I would like to, and I would again request the shareholders who have not cast their vote as yet to do so as soon as possible. The company has appointed Mr. Atul Kumar Lal, practicing company secretary, to act as a scrutinizer for scrutinizing the remote e-voting and e-voting process at the AGM in a fair and transparent manner. The results will be declared based on the consolidated scrutinizer report received by the company, considering the votes cast by the shareholders participating in this AGM, together with the e-voting already done by the shareholder during the remote e-voting period. I authorize Mr. Deepak Khetrapal, Managing Director and CEO, and Mrs. Nidhi Bisaria, Company Secretary of the company, severally to receive the scrutinizer report on e-voting and declare the result of the voting to the stock exchanges within 2 working days from the end of this meeting. The results will be published on the company's website and also uploaded on the websites of the stock exchange, NSE and BSE. The resolution as set forth in the notice shall deem to be passed today, i.e. July 20th, 2022, subject to the receipt of the requisite number of votes. I once again thank all the shareholders for the participation in this AGM. I also thank all our board members and auditors for the participation. And I now hereby declare the proceedings of this AGM as closed. Thank you.
So, with your permission, can I make one request to the shareholders who have been sending questions through the chat mode? Many of those questions are pertaining to the quarter for whom the results have been declared just today. We are hosting a full investors meeting at 11 a.m. on Monday. Please join that investors call, and we'll be answering questions pertaining to the quarter that we've just closed in that investors call on Monday, 11 a.m. If required, the details can be obtained from our company secretary's department.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.